Reported in the Torch that Jeff Hardy went to you directly to have every other weekend off from house shows. He knew it would be a massive pay cut, but you granted him this request. How important was Jeff to the company for you to give him this time off? This doesn't feel like something you would do for everybody. Of course, you're allowing him to pursue his passion for music, but I'm sure somebody somewhere wasn't happy about this. What do you remember? Yeah.
Well, everybody wants another weekend off. I just thought it was good for Jeff. Jeff was kind of a fragile guy, and he made ridiculous errors, mistakes. And of course, I think a lot of that was influenced by drugs and alcohol. And many of us weren't aware of how severe that issue was with Jeff, but it was serious. So I'm thinking maybe I can give him some relief and we can extend his shelf life. That was the bottom line there, Conrad. I made the decision, and I'm not sure Vince even was aware of it. I didn't go through Vince with everything I did, which is great. So he trusted me.
Right.
And I wanted Jeff Hardy to make it because we knew what we had with Jeff Hardy. Mm-hmm. He is a star. And how do we do all we can to extend his shelf life, as I mentioned earlier? So if getting him a weekend off was going to get that done, then let's do it. And by not knowing he's not available, it could all work. It could all be planned out. That's why they make erasers. He got Nick stayed off the card, and somebody else got his spot, and they got a payday, and Jeff was home trying to regroup, shall we say?
Sure.
So I thought it was the right thing to do. Was it traditional? No. I did a lot of things, Conrad, that weren't traditional in that role because I tried to upgrade how we treated talent and respecting the talent and so forth and so on. So I think that helped us a lot. I don't know at the end of the day how that every other weekend thing was playing out with Jeff. So I had a real I had a gut feeling that we could help him if we went this route. Yes, it was non-traditional. I'm sure there were some guys that said, well, I'd like to have some time off. Let's fucking ask for it.
Right.
I very seldom, if I get enough notice or we're not going back in there and changing cards after they've already been released, I'll work with you. I want you to see your kid's Little League game. I want you to go to the dance recital or celebrate a birthday or an anniversary or whatever. Because I've always believed that if you get a guy home, the more he or she can be home, the better positive attitude you receive when they come back.
Right.
They just left home. They got to see their family. They got to be a human, a husband, a father. And I'm all for all that stuff. When they go home and they come back, I want you to come back positive. I want you to come back ready to work, ready to go. And that was the goal there, Conrad. And again, like I said, it's not something Bill Watts would have done or Ole Anderson would have done or probably Dusty would have done. I'm just saying, I don't know that, but it's unlikely because that wasn't the tradition. And I broke a little tradition there, and I did it more often than not. I did it several times. You want your talent to be productive and happy. When they are, you get better matches. You have less issues on the road. It's just a better win-win all the way around. And that's what I was hoping it would be with Jeff in the situation. Jeff Hardy had proven on more than one occasion, Connie, as you can vouch for, he was a star.
Yes.
He was, and he wasn't one of the Hardy boys. That was the key thing too, I hired he and Matt back in the day for little or no money because they were just teenagers, and they're making their own wrestling gear. They're using their late mother's sewing machine. And things like that affected me in a positive way. That's how badly they wanted to be in the business and to contribute and to be a player. So once we got past the separation anxiety of the tag team being featured and Jeff being featured, we're on the right track. Jeff Hardy could have been as big a star in that era as we had if we could just keep him sane and healthy and on track. And that was a challenge at times.